Have you ever generated an image that was, technically perfect but just felt flat, emotionally empty? Well, the missing ingredient was probably light. Today, we're going to move way beyond just illuminating a scene. We're going to learn how to use light as a true storytelling tool to craft mood, tension, and emotion right into your AI-generated storyboards. Let's dive in. Okay, just look at these two images. It's the exact same character, same pose, same angle. The only thing that's different is the lighting. On the left, with that soft, warm light, there's a feeling of safety, right? Maybe even a little bit of hope. But on the right, with those harsh shadows coming from below, bam, the character instantly feels sinister, totally threatening. This is the power we're talking about, and we're going to learn exactly how to control it. So here's the game plan. First, we'll really nail down why lighting is all about storytelling. Then we're going to open up the cinematic toolkit and learn the essential setups. We'll do a practical demo, talk about some common traps to watch out for, and then wrap it all up with a master checklist to guide you. Let's start with the absolute most important idea here. Lighting is storytelling. Seriously. Before a character even says a word, before they take a single step, the light in the scene has already set the emotional tone for the audience. We're not just flipping a switch, we're building the entire mood from the ground up. And it's really not an exaggeration to say that lighting changes everything. I mean, we just saw it. A simple shift can turn a hero into a villain or a cozy room into a place of danger. So from this point on, the first question you should always ask yourself is, what story is my lighting telling? So how do we actually tell those stories with light? Well, we start with what I like to call the cinematic toolkit. Let's break down the 5 essential lighting setups that you'll probably be using over and over and over again in your storyboards. First up is the industry standard 3-point lighting. This is your go-to for a clean, professional, and pretty neutral look. You've got your key light, which is your main source of light. Then you have a fill light, which just softens any of those harsh shadows. And finally, a rim light, which adds this really subtle outline that helps pop your subject out from the background. And prompting for this is surprisingly straightforward. You just have to describe the components. You tell the AI where the key light is coming from, where the fill light is, where the rim light is, and then, this is key, you specify the overall mood you're going for. It's kind of like being your own virtual director of photography. Okay, now for something with a bit more drama, high contrast or noir lighting. This style is all about creating tension, mystery. You use a single, strong light source, and you want those shadows to stay deep and dark. It's absolutely perfect for thrillers or any scene where things are a little morally gray.
The prompt here is just as direct. The magic words are high contrast and deep shadows. But honestly, the most important part is adding minimal fill. You are explicitly telling the AI, hey, don't soften these shadows. That's what gives you that signature, mysterious, tense look. Next up, the silhouette. So classic. By putting the main light source behind your subject, you hide all their features and you force the audience to focus only on their shape. This is just fantastic for dramatic entrances, mysterious figures, or, the big villain reveal. Now, when you're prompting for a silhouette, the most critical detail is the light's position. You have to be super explicit. Bright light source behind the subject. And make sure you say subject is in shadow. This tells the AI that your goal is actually to hide detail, not to show it. We can also use light to deliberately make an audience feel a little uneasy. See, our brains are just wired to expect light to come from above, like the sun. So when light comes from a weird direction, it feels wrong. Light from directly above can feel oppressive, like an interrogation. And light from below, that's the classic campfire ghost story trick that instantly makes things feel sinister. So beyond these core setups, we can add another whole layer of depth with atmospheric modifiers. These are the details that really bring a scene to life. Is it down or dusk? Is there fog in the air? Is the light warm or is it cool? Every single choice adds a new dimension to your story. And this is where psychology gets really fun. Warm, orangey light feels comfortable, nostalgic, safe. Think about a candle, a fireplace, a sunset. That feeling of safety is basically baked into our DNA. On the flip side, cool blue light feels more technological, sterile, maybe even isolating. You can instantly change the entire feeling of a room just by prompting for a change in color temperature. It's that powerful. Okay, enough theory. Let's put this all together and see how it works in a practical example. We're going to build a complex, story-driven prompt right from scratch. All right, let's build a prompt for a suspenseful investigation. Step 1, we choose our setup. Definitely noir, dramatic lighting. Step 2, we define the source. Let's say a single desk lamp, creating a harsh pool of light. Step 3, we control the shadows. We want the character's face half hidden in deep blacks. And for step 4, let's add a cool cinematic detail, like the shadows from Venetian blinds. See how we're layering these ideas one on top of the other?
And here is the final prompt that pulls all of those layers together. It's specific, it's evocative, and it tells the AI not just what to create, but the mood it needs to create. This level of detail is what separates a generic, boring image from a really compelling story panel. Now, let's quickly cover a crucial step that will take your prompts from good to great. We're going to look at the single most common mistake people make with lighting, and more importantly, how to fix it. The problem is just vagueness. A prompt like night scene gives the AI almost no direction to work with. But look at the good prompt. It specifies dusk twilight, a deep blue sky, and warm streetlights. It describes the quality and the feeling of the light, giving the AI specific details to grab onto, which always results in a richer, more intentional image.
All right, let's wrap this all up. We're going to distill everything we've learned into a simple, actionable checklist you can use on your very next project.
Here it is. Always define your light source and where it's coming from. Use the time of day and the weather to add atmosphere. Control the emotion with color temperature. And most importantly, think like a director. What story are my shadows telling? Oh, and a pro tip, building templates for different moods can save you a ton of time and keep your project looking consistent.
So the key takeaway here is this. Light isn't just illumination, it's narration. It's a character in your story. You now have the cinematic toolkit to control it, to shape it, and to use it to tell powerful visual stories. So the only question left is, what story will your lighting tell next?